All you wanted was to be a normal college student. But that face of yours had other plans entirely. On the very first day, you caused 9 lunch trays to hit the floor and sent 3 upperclassmen walking into the wrong buildings. Your roommates even formed an unofficial Chinming protection squad to run interference, and then at the freshman orientation ceremony, a camera operator accidentally cut to your profile on the main screen, and within 3 seconds, 30,000 people in the arena lost their minds. Even the most popular girl on campus stood there with her jaw on the floor, and all you wanted to do was study computer science. But your roommate put it plainly, saying that face of yours was basically a nuclear warhead dropped into every girl's dorm on campus. On move-in day, you had every intention of blending into the background. But the moment you stepped through the campus gates, a cheerful upperclassman came bounding over with a huge smile. And the second you looked up, she froze completely, as if someone had hit a pause button on her entire body. Because the face beneath that cap was so absurdly good-looking, it literally stopped whatever she had been about to say mid-sentence. Her cheeks immediately went the color of a ripe tomato, and she started fumbling frantically through the freshman check-in roster, her voice pitching higher than usual as she stared at you and stuttered out, "What is your name anyway?" And you kept your expression completely blank, and calmly said 2 words. Chinming and the upperclassman visibly jolted, and circled the name 3 times before her pen actually landed in the right spot, and she murmured quietly to herself. Chinming male, 18 years old, and then she snapped her head up as if she had touched a live wire, her eyes locked onto you with an expression of pure disbelief. Someone with a face like that was actually only 18. You furrowed your brow slightly and reached up to pull your cap down a little lower. But the tree-lined path behind you had already erupted and someone cried out, "Oh my god, look at that guy in the gray shirt. Is that face even real?" And you immediately picked up your pace. And right on cue, your phone buzzed in your pocket, and the screen showed a text from the old man back home. And the message was blunt and to the point, just 2 words. Keep a low profile, and your expression did not change at all. And you slipped the phone back into your pocket and muttered under your breath that you had been trying to keep a low profile all along, but this face of yours refused to cooperate. A walk that should have taken 15 minutes turned into nearly half an hour because the upperclassman escorting you kept drifting off course every single time she snuck a glance at you. Her brain would simply stop working, and she looped the wrong way multiple times without even noticing. By the time you finally made it to the entrance of the men's dorm, she visibly deflated with relief. And after twisting her lip for a moment, she finally held out a sticky note with a string of numbers on it, her face still red, and quietly explained it was the contact number for the freshman group chat for their department. You reached out and took the note and gave her a polite nod, and said thanks. And the moment she heard that, she went completely still, staring after your retreating figure until you rounded the corner, and then she slowly sank into a crouch, and let out a muffled screech into her hands that startled a random passerby half to death. But she just pressed both hands to her burning cheeks, and slowly straightened back up with the biggest grin. "I am done for," she whispered. "I have completely fallen. Head over heels for an actual god among men," and you dragged your black rolling suitcase up the stairs, and pushed open the wooden door to room 304, and inside a chubby guy was hunched over a giant bowl of noodles slurping away, while on the top bunk a athletic-looking guy was mid-stretch. But the moment they saw you, both of them froze completely. The chubby one started to say, "Hey, our last roommate is finally here," but the words got stuck in his throat, and a clump of noodles dropped right into his lap, splashing hot broth all over him. And the athletic guy on the top bunk was even worse because he lunged forward to get a better look, and cracked his head straight into the metal bed rail with a loud thud, and the tiny dorm room went completely silent. After a long pause, the chubby guy finally scrambled to his feet, wincing, and hollered at the top of his lungs, "Oh my god, bro, are you seriously human?" And you stood in the doorway completely unbothered, while he stared at you with wide round eyes going over every detail multiple times, and finally swallowed hard with a noticeable tremor in his voice. "Dude, you have definitely walked into the wrong building because this is not the performing arts or drama school." You glanced down at the acceptance letter in your hand and confirmed you had not made a mistake. This was definitely room 304, and they asked what department you were in. And you answered calmly, "Computer science and technology," and both of them stared at each other, and then turned the volume up several notches, asking how someone with a face like that could possibly come here to grind through coding and go bald over a keyboard. You neatly shoved your luggage under the desk and looked back at them calmly, asking what your face had to do with what you studied. Well, technically nothing, but the chubby guy scratched the back of his head furiously, and shook his head like he was mourning a great loss, saying it was like taking the biggest stars in Hollywood and sending them to trade school. A complete waste of something extraordinary. And the athletic guy snorted and fired back, more like taking a Greek god and making him a mudflap on a tractor. Absolutely criminal, and you ignored both of their ridiculous comparisons, and started unpacking and making your bed by yourself. But those two seemed to reach some unspoken agreement, and crowded over with matching grins, and the chubby guy gave his round belly a cheerful pat, and introduced himself saying he was Dujiteng, and that if anyone ever gave you trouble on campus, just drop his name. And the athletic guy slid down from the railing and extended a hand with an easy grin, saying he was Wang Che, a sports scholarship recruit, and asked how tall you were, because you looked pretty tall, and you said 6'1", without even shifting your gaze, just tossing out the number casually, 6'1". Wang Che's eyes lit up like someone had flipped a switch, and he immediately asked if you ever shot hoops for fun. And you answered slowly that you messed around occasionally, and Wang Che said perfect, and offered to train you from here on out. Just then, Dujiteng sidled up to you with a conspiratorial look, and dropped his voice to a whisper saying, "Bro, let me give you some real talk. Because the computer science department was basically a monastery when it came to the gender ratio. 7 guys competing over 1 girl," and he paused for dramatic effect, and held up all 7 fingers with a deeply pained expression on his face, saying if anyone actually wanted to meet someone, they basically